Hey everybody, so I thought I would show you the barbecue sauce that I make as kind of a standby. It's my go-to barbecue sauce if I'm baking something that needs barbecue sauce over it. One exception is pulled pork. I have a specific recipe I use for pulled pork, but for everything else I do something along these lines. And today we've got ribs baking in the oven. So I thought I'd show you the barbecue sauce that I make. It is a little bit different, but it's really tasty and great for something like ribs or chicken where you just want to pour the sauce over. So in the pan here I've got 2 tablespoons of butter, and I've got a large stick of celery diced and a regular onion diced. And I'm just letting those cook for about 5 minutes on a medium heat just to get the vegetables starting to soften. I will just turn those down a little bit. So in just a moment I'm going to add to that a cup of water, a cup of ketchup. Now Caleb loves ketchup, as you've probably seen, and he likes Heinz ketchup, but I do keep in the pantry a bottle of the cheap ketchup because for something like this it is ideal, because the cheaper ketchup tends to be quite vinegary, which you really want in a barbecue sauce. So a cup of ketchup. I've got 1/3 of a cup of lemon juice. Now this is fresh squeezed, but you could use bottled lemon juice as well. In here I've got 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar. Any white vinegar is fine, apple cider, regular white vinegar, and 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And then in here I've got 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, half a teaspoon of mustard powder, and a pinch each of black pepper and chili powder. And you can adjust those to the tastes of your family. You can make this more spicy, or you can leave out the chili powder altogether, whatever really suits your family. So in just a sec I'm going to add all of this into the pan with the vegetables, let it come to a simmer, and then I'm going to let it cook for about 10 minutes, just until it thickens up a little bit before pouring it over the ribs. So when we get to that stage I'll come back and show it to you. Okay, so this has simmered away for about 10 minutes. It hasn't gone, I mean it's not thick, but it is thicker than it was, because you don't want it really thick because you want it to soak into your meat. So in the pan here I've got some pork ribs that I've just cooked for about 45 minutes at 180 Celsius. You could also do this with racks of ribs that you've trimmed to kind of serving size, like quarter racks or half racks or something like that. They didn't have any racks. That's ideally what I was looking for at the store today, but neither of the stores I went to had any, so I just opted for the already cut up, just the pork ribs. They're a bit more, they are more meaty than the ribs on the bone, on the rack, but they're also more fatty, so you get a bit of a combination of the two things. So the ribs have been cooking for, as I said, about 45 minutes. And I'm now just going to pour the barbecue sauce all over the ribs. You can see the little chunks of onion and celery in there too. Just add a nice flavour to it. Just want to pour it so that the ribs actually get some of the sauce over the meatiest part of the rib. And then when I have this all on, I'm going to put these back in the oven for another 45 minutes. Now the addition of the sauce, and the sauce has got some sugar in it, so that will actually start to get them all caramelizing and crisping up a bit. And I'm just going to pour the rest straight from the pan over the top. So I'm going to put those back in for 45 minutes while I also cook some baked potatoes. And then we're going to cook some corn on the cob to have with it as well. So that will, there's the big pan there, that will just bubble away now for 45 minutes. The meat will just really tenderize, and the sauce will start to soak into the meat as it cooks. So we'll come back and I'll show you how it looks when everything's finished. And so there is our big pan of ribs, barbecue ribs. So you can see the sauce has all coated the ribs and gone into the meat a bit, got a little bit crispy around the edges where it was on the pan, but the meat is actually falling away from the bone. So these look like they are going to be delicious for dinner tonight. But the addition of the onion and the celery, and then the little tiny bit of chili powder, with the sugar gives a really nice kind of tangy, with the vinegar as well gives a really tangy barbecue sauce. So if you like that sort of barbecue sauce rather than the thick, sweeter sauce, then this would definitely be one for you to try.